To talk to you a little bit about the course we are going to do together, I will start by reading you some words of Susan Sontag in this book at the same time and the chapter The Conscience of Words. And she starts by writing, "We fret about words, we writers. Words mean, words point. They are arrows stuck in the rough hide of reality. And the more general the word, the more they also resemble rooms or tunnels. They can expand or cave in. They can come to be filled with a bad smell. They will often remind us of other rooms where we'd rather dwell or where we think we are already living." And a little bit further ahead, Susan Sontag writes, "Every notion of literature we can think of, literature as social engagement, literature as the pursuit of private spiritual intensities, national literature, world literature, is or can become a form of spiritual complacency or vanity or self-congratulation. Literature is a system, a plural system of standards, ambitions, loyalties. Part of the ethical function of literature is the lesson of the value of diversity." So, this is important to think about the joint perspective we are going here to have in this course, linking the approach of cultural studies to the approach of literature. Cultural studies, due to its anthropological character, helps us to reflect on fundamental aspects about the central issues of life. And cultural studies have paved the way in literary studies for a challenge of the canon, bringing new themes and also new perspectives to the study of and analyzing of texts. First of all, basing it on interdisciplinarity, but also reflecting on themes such as power relations, gender, and of course, migrations. And this joint perspective allows the texts to be considered in the context of their production, relating the characters and the events to a given culture, to interpret reality as criticism, and to look at literature as intervention in such matters as migration, diversity, and post colonial issues. It can also focus on understanding how marginalized populations are described, mapping traditional and or subversive discourses that emerge from a given literary work. So in the first week, we will deal with concepts of culture, multiculturalism, cultural diversity, and also on different conceptualizations such as pluriculturalism, transculturalism, co-cultures. The second and third week, we will look at the literary text in particular and give attention to what surrounds us and what happens in the literary text to see how our personal choices, our ways of living, our ways of contacting, our ways of dealing with others are reflected on the texts, and how we can see, and there we can see how literature shows us the world of migration. It's the world, a world that many times is portrayed as displaced, fragmented, multicultural, violent, but also a world that can mean hope and can mean a diversity and acceptance of the diversity. So we will try through literary texts to see how writers are portraying this reality of migration.